Okay, I believe we're live again. Are we live? Hopefully we are. Well, that was a dumb thing we had to deal with. That was really dumb. That was honestly really, really dumb. Both my my PC overheating and dying as a result, but also yeah. My mount not working for whatever reason. I have to Google how to properly mount my drive again, which was kind of dumb, and actually I'm not even sure if I can even work with Unity now, because I changed the mount drive, which fun. Let me try doing something real quick. Yeah, let me actually just let me make some notes for myself. And then what was the magic thing I did? Really isn't magic, but feels like it. Yeah. Okay, the cooldown after the obahito, yeah. Big obo, and not only that, my drive part just not being recognized by for whatever reason. It feels like sometimes it gets recognized and other times it doesn't. And now my second SD card is being recognized in a different location, which is really frustrating because that means that I can't open up the project unless I get it to the right place, and now it's mounted in a different location. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be a whole friggin' thing to deal with now. Whatever, we're gonna just have to deal with it. No AI, no AI. We don't do that here. No, we're not coding right now. And then, yeah, so for future reference. And then let's try opening up Unity, and let's try opening up Sprite as well. And then I know there's a piece. I had this whole thing of dealing with PC temps with installing Catchy OS on my laptop. And oh man, add from disk, yeah. Let's see here. You're gonna be a mount now. Yeah, mount. Messy Mansion, repository. Yep, that should be the correct one. An hour ago. Sorry, what? Wait 1 second. I'm making a FPS game in Unity, but using AI for coding. Okay. I have opinions, but I mean, I also don't know your circumstances, so I'll likely reserve my opinions. Yeah, it's gonna show up as not there, not found. But I know for a fact it's here. Add from disk. Come on, Unity, don't do this to me. Oh my goodness, where are we at? Yeah, we have to go all the way here and then go into MNT. Cozy Having Games. Messy Mansion. Repository. Messy Mansion. And this should be the repository. Okay, it's already open. Okay, never mind. It's opening up somewhere else. Where it says it's open somewhere else. I'm not sure where it's opening though. And let me open up the file we were editing before, which should now be in a different location. That was my issue. Okay, just joined from this live from South Africa. What's up, Craig from South Africa? Good to have you here, man. Right now we're not using an ID. We're using NeoVim to do some stuff, but I'm gonna be going back to Rider soon to actually do the big boy working. We do go back to Rider to do the big boy working. Dev. No, we're going to mount. Yes, mount. And we're going to be going to the cabin. We're going to be going to this mansion repository. Assets. Level assets. And El Moro, and we have this. And we're back to where we were before. And all we have to do is just toggle on tile symmetry mode on both axes, and bada bing, bada boom, we're good. And I feel like Unity lied to me because it said it was opening up. It said it was opening up the game. What are you talking? It's not open though. That's the thing. It's not open in any editor. Do not gaslight me. I know for a fact there's no open instance of Unity right now. Like, what is going on? Are you gaslighting me? Like, what's going on here? To proceed with this operation. What are you talking about? Are you high? Like, let's go to HTOP. Let's see what's going on here. The hearth. That's the origin, but where's? I want to see Unity open somewhere here. Where is the instance of Unity that, for some reason, is being registered as open, but it actually isn't? Because we're being lied to right now. All I want to do, man, is just do some work in the game engine. And you're not letting me, Unity. Like, what is going on? Why are you enforcing this no multiple instance thing, dude? Let it happen. Let's get weird, dude. Just let weird things happen. Okay, I have it sorted by descending order. But, yeah. We're being gaslit, dude. Because I do not see a single Unity instance here. We're being lied to here, man. I can't believe we're actually being lied. Like, what? Can I just kill all Unity? Like, no Unity process. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. That's Unity Hub. Nope. Maybe we'll start with that. Nope. Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm just gonna lose a little bit, dude. What's up, man? What's up, Jose? New here? Hey, good to see you, Madi, and I like it so far. I'm glad you like it. 2 with the terminal, gotcha. Is this Linux? Yeah, we're using Linux. I'm gonna lose it, dude. It's not like in a different workstation or anything either. It's saying that there's an instance of Unity open right now, and it refuses to open. But the thing is, there's no Unity instance. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do something. We're gonna There's nothing there. No dependencies there in case there's something trailing off. Oh, you're killing me, dude. You know what? Today might be a day where we just work on our own game engine. Like literally, I think today might be that day. Where I just say, you know what? For this day at least, because I don't want to restart my machine and try to. I don't want to just start killing processes willy-nilly too, because I don't know what I'm gonna be killing. But I don't know why why Unity Hub says there's a Unity open somewhere and it's not. And I want to do something. And I like being able to see the asset update in real time. Splash. What is splash? Is this splash screen for Unity? Is that what's going on here? Has been init splash. How long have you been up for? Does it see your uptime anywhere? You know what? I'm just gonna risk it, dude. I'm gonna guess that this is the Unity splash screen. Let's just find out, dude. Okay, the machine didn't crash. If I go back here, nope, still fighting me. Wait, it's still here. What? Oh, did I have to choose an option here for how I kill it? Okay, I have no idea how to kill a process, do I? One second. What's going on here? Why is my, First of all, I'm going to kill up PyCon right now because I feel like my computer's throttling a little. What is going on? Oh, I'm still in my second mode. I like my compositor, but you know what? My computer already, just quit halfway through because it was overheating. So we're just gonna be nicer to her. We're just gonna not make her work more than she needs to. For Windows Task Manager, I like i3. Hyperland, if yes, what's the theme? It's a theme I made myself, but I'm using i3. I don't even imagine. I was working, we were trying to do game deving today, but the majesty of Unity said, no, you don't get to do this. Like, geez, everything's been fighting me today. It's one of those streams where just everything, it feels like my machine's out to get me. Okay, you know what? Honestly, you know what? Today we're gonna break the mold. I wanted to work on Messy Mansion. I guess it's not in the cards today, because is there? Okay, let me try something else. Okay, what processes are there? No, we're not gonna. 423 processes. No. Okay. Unity Hub bin. That's Hub though. What are you called? No. Okay. Is it just space? No. Because I think that's what's happening, is that just kind of hung. But I'm trying to figure out, or do I need to type in sbin? Yeah, no. Yep, no process found. Yeah, no process found. Brother, I'm gonna lose it. Yeah, and I think this is... I can just use the PID, I think. Which one is it? If not, if I can't make it work, we're just gonna work on the game engine today. We're just gonna work on the game engine. This is the command that started it. Never mind, I'm looking at the wrong thing. And it's like memory. So this, I think this is actually the PID right there. So, and I'm kind of scared because this is a PID of 1. Maybe it's something actually critical. Maybe it's not what I think it is. Maybe it's just a login. And I'm just being dumb. In which case we're back to kicking rocks and trying to find which process this is. Yeah, I think I'm just being dumb. But then it's like, all right, we have 400 processes to parse through to see which one is Unity. Do I really want to go through this? I don't know. I don't want to reboot Gecko. I already had a stop stream, dude. See you all. See you, Mehdi. Somewhere. That's the thing. It's saying there's an open session, but there's none. There's no workstation. There's nothing open. So, and I remember this occasionally happened in Windows, but it was a bit easier to identify it. Here I'm like, okay, we're Mr. Detective Man looking for what exactly is going on. And if not, we just say, you know what? Engine time, baby. Because I've been neglectful of my game engine. I have been neglectful of it. And I've been kind of wanting to do some significant restructuring. West term. Yeah, it's all West term stuff. OBS started from that, yep. That's a big process we started there, didn't we? Yeah, that's OBS. Oh my goodness. That's a very deep process tree. Sheesh. Okay, no. Oh my goodness, no. More plugins. OBS. Okay, we're back to West term. And we're at HTOP. That's this current process. Okay. I'm not seeing anything here of interest. Not seeing anything here of interest. So you know what? What we're gonna do, I think we're just gonna, oh, who are you? I think today's gonna be an engine day. And we're gonna try to make stuff work better. We're gonna see how scuffed my engine was in the last state I left it in, and some weird things I was doing with it. I think that's just what we're gonna do, because I do want to do some coding today at some sort. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to. Yep. Oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, use PID. Your root directory? Maybe. Pass, yep, awesome vibe. Thank you, Amen. Hey, what's up, Kenneth? ToxCon. What CPU is this? It's a Ryzen. It's a Ryzen, I don't know. I forgot the specific thing it is. But yeah, 12 cores, 24 threads. Yeah, it's 12 cores, but it has 24 threads. So I think it's like what, 2 virtual threads per core, or something like that. I don't know what the terminology is. Something like that. Oh, I feel so. You know what? 1 second. Let me check something. What is this Unity process? Because I'm not sure if it's actually calling this Unity process. It's gonna be in my home. Show in File Explorer. Folder editor. Is it literally just called Unity? Yeah, this is not helpful. Oh? Wait a second. Nope, that's a license client. We just killed the licensing, which I guess is kind of a win, but nothing else. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, wait. Maybe I'm wrong, actually. Never mind. I was optimistic, but no. 424 possibilities for Unity. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude? Okay. Yeah, I'm done with this. We're just gonna... Hopefully C-line does not hurt me as much as this has hurt me. Due to non-committed Git files. The thing is, like, this is after a fresh restart. I think I closed Unity Hub prematurely. I think that's probably what happened. Instead of sleeping, I have no clue what is happening. Good night, stranger. You have a good one, High Royal. What's up, Calvin Porter? It looks cool and peaceful. Thank you, guys. Well, I'm glad it's peaceful. It's kind of infuriating for me, but it is what it is. We're just gonna move forward, and instead we're gonna work with something even simpler today. Ooh, I do want to do the ASCII thing, the ASCII engine thing, but we'll deal with that later. What's up, user tank? A process with 20% CPU usage, you can sort by CPU usage. All right, 1 second. Let's do that. I mean, I was doing that before, but 1 second. Come on, buddy. Work with me, pal. Descending order. What's going on here? Well, it's probably going to be C-line. No, it's at X11. I don't know. I don't think this would be taking that much CPU. Let's just take inventory of what we got going on here. So, yeah, I think I mentioned before, there's a bunch of weird stuff going on here, and I did some stuff to be kind of fun and do something dumb just for the sake of seeing what happens if I do the dumb thing. But I think we're gonna fix. So we have the weird thing with collision, and that's, I don't think even necessarily due to the collision itself, even though the way I have it implemented is not great, but whatever, we'll deal with that later. But the issue is our time.delta. We're not using delta time, we're trying to do a fixed update thing, and I realized that fixed update actually it's kind of more of a pain in the butt to implement. So there's some ideas I have here for what we're gonna do to either enforce fix update or move to back to delta time, or do both. Have like an update cycle that uses both. But I need to get this update working because it's not working as we want it to, as we'd ideally wish for it to work. It's fine right now, but the thing is, the issue is that when I play this on different computers, this plays at different speeds, and that's bad. We don't want that. And there's some weird issues with collision like that, for example. That is not great. We do not wish for that to happen. Yeah. I also want to do some UI things, but one thing at a time, Tiger. So, let me zoom this in a little bit so you guys can potentially see better. Which I think I actually have to go through here because there's no key binding for this. At least not that I have set up right now. See, I want the code to be... I want the UI to be small, but I want the actual code to be big. I forget. I feel like I could have sworn there was a thing for this. Let me see. Editor. Yeah, font. We're gonna make the font bigger. We're gonna make the font a little bigger. See, that looks better for you guys. He's playing Minecraft. Yes, guys, this is what Minecraft looks like. This is what peak Minecraft looks like. Now, this is like the worst C++ you ever seen in your life. That's what we're doing, is the worst C++ you ever experienced. And so a lot of this game engine stuff is happening here. The update loop cycle. Get out of here. I already have Vim. It's working the way I want it to. Leave me alone. I know Ryder's trying to be helpful with this like little code hint about the time, like the type, but it's not. It's actually not. And we're doing some weird wacky things here. I forgot what I was doing. Because we're trying to make it so that we wait for a certain amount, and if it's under budget, we execute like all the logic for updating the game, and then if it's less than like, let's say 1/60th of a second, we wait the remainder duration for that. But I'm finding that clock, high resolution clock is not performing the way I'd want it to. Do I even want to deal with this right now? Do I even want to deal with this? Because there's other things I want to kind of refactor and restructure while we're at it. I'm going to treat this like C# attributes. Back to 90s, a little bit. What's up, Toma? Where you do ooh and people subscribe. Could you do ooh? No, I'm not. I'm not doing the ooh. That might be great for them, but I'm just trying to chill in code, man. That ooh channel is insane. Like legit. I don't know how you can do that. No, I'm just trying to do some coding right now. And I'm rethinking things. I think I can make this way simpler and still keep the benefits that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, and I also want to change some things with entity. Now that I think about it. Like, let me go to the renderer, because I'm doing some dumb stuff. We're trying to do the thing of just making things work and then make it better later. And I think I was doing some weird stuff here to try to make... I was trying to make sprites, as they get further away, still be big, like get bigger to compensate for foreshortening. in a perspective because we want to have the illusion of perspective, like how things move in parallax, but I also want to keep the size accurate, and it's not accurate at all. Oh, I was debugging something here, that's for sure. I was for sure doing something dumb here. I don't know what I was doing there. Yeah, the scale factor thing. And is screen spaced? Yeah. So this is objects that need to be placed in screen space, and then this is objects placed in world space, and we do different matrices here. Okay, we might have to actually make this smaller because this is like super nested. This is not feasible in the same way that that in the same way it might be in a different in a different context. So we're just gonna scale this bad boy back up a little bit because I can't really see, especially with this code stacking business we got going on here. It's not it's not helping me. It's not helping. We're gonna reduce the size just a tad bit, guys. It's still gonna be bigger than usual. Just a tad bit smaller so I can actually see the full expressions that we're doing here, because there's quite a bit of nesting. And we're doing this whole business as well. Yeah, I don't know why we're doing this. I think I was testing something out. Oh yeah, we're checking the scale factor if it's like negative. Yeah, we do this weird thing. If I change this to be like so though, let's just get rid of this scale factor correction thing and see how placing things work now. Oh, this is a different game. Yeah, this is the game engine project I'm working on, just because for some reason Unity refuses to work with me today. So this is C++, which is crazy, right? I've been talking about doing a engine dev stream, and we finally do it. And yep, this behaves like you'd expect it to now. It's actually tiled. So now we can have things in the background like this. I need to do some better system design because there's things that there's a lot of redundancy going on here, because I was trying to avoid a lot of object-oriented stuff just to see what happens. Yeah, we need to fix that collision issue. Because even if the delta time is wrong, that collision issue I think is not even due to that at all. That's like fundamentally something else. All right. Yeah, we're gonna debate this. Figure out how to scale proportionately to perspective. And then what did I do wrong here? Oh, I need to rebind some stuff because I realized that I changed, since I switched to i3, I can't use alt. Whatever. I can't spell. What is it? Just tell me the thing. Show context actions. Yes. Proportionate. This is the word. All right. Yeah, we're gonna keep this as one for now. And then let me see if my saving actually popped up there. We should probably add some juice to the editor too. It'll be nice to have some kind of indicator that, hey, my progress got saved when I pressed Control W. Yeah. So it did save. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we need to do some more editor stuff just to make it feel a little bit more polished. We'll get there eventually. I need to figure out how I want to do text. If I'm going to use library or if I'm going to try doing something weird on my own. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna look at the player thing, I think. So I'm doing this weird, more specific. I have a more concise state machine compared to what I have in Messy Mansion. And I've been kind of considering rewriting the player controller to just work with this instead. I'm not sure though. Let me catch up in chat. My bad, guys. What are you coding? A game engine right now, or a game from kind of scratch? Time for Netflix, Joko Anwar. Your setup has a nice vibe. I feel like I'm in a Mist, but... Oh, in Mist, like the game, but in 1998, modern parallel timeline. I dig that, man. Especially since Mist is a game I've been wanting to play for a while. Or a room inside a bunker. No, it's my room. It's my little work studio room. I don't sleep here though, usually. Nice. For a while, man, like 10 years, probably more than that. No, it's C++. We're doing C++ right now. Brain dead. Dead is bro making 100K a year? Who's brain dead? What section are you making? Right now we're just still building the tools for myself and making sure some basic behaviors work great, or at least work decent. Yeah, so we get that creates a player. This gets position. There's a lot of redundancy I kind of want to fix on here. This all started as like a dumb little side project that kind of turned into this. Like I started this I made most of this within like 2 weeks or a week. And now I'm like, all right, let's actually maybe start actually applying some good structure to this. And then we have our collision check here that we do. And then we have our estimated position given the velocity. So what's happening? The player is for sure seems like they're colliding down here. So, I think what's wrong here is that we are not there's a case. Okay. So I think there's a fundamental issue with like how I'm doing collision, because I'm not doing collide and actually it's not even collide and slide. I'm trying to slide. I allow sliding, but it's not accurate, and I don't have moving to nearest position. So we have the position, like our projected position. So we like one frame has happened, right? This is happening at the end of the frame for update for the player, and the player at the end has their current position and then a velocity, and with that velocity we can predict where they're going to be next frame if we were to follow that velocity. That's just position plus velocity. And then we check to see if that position in the future is free, and if it is free, we just simply set the player's current position to that and then return. But if it's not free, we check to see if either components are free. So like if the X component is free, then we just apply that offset, or the Y component is free, we just slide the player along that instead. But it does not account for like the space in between. So there's something we can do where we can get like, even if there's a collision on with both components, we can at least like get the nearest point on the object it collides with. Since we're using like a tiling system, we can kind of assume that there's only one object you're colliding with. We can start with that assumption and then go from there. You can do a couple of different things to try to get the nearest point, but I think the simplest thing would be like, because these are box sliders. In fact, let's look at our collision system that we implemented. So we have our point free. What we're going to end up needing is like, float to, I forgot what it is, like don't discard or something. No discard, I think. Get nearest point given so given like an object, a collider object, we're gonna find the nearest collider point with it. But since in this case we know that we're colliding with an object, we actually might have the index of that collider. So we can have like a second one. And this is gonna be like the query index. And this is gonna be the collider we're gonna be finding. And then we can do this whole I wonder actually, do I have there's a point free thing. Is point free. This point collide with index. Yeah, we can check to see if there's a collision there. And we have our little switch case statement and all that. But I don't think we get any kind of distance value. It's just basic requirements, either through distance or whatnot. So we need to find a way of projecting. If we're using a box collider or square collider, we can like find the nearest point on like the 4 lines that compose the box. I think that's a decent starting point, and then go from there. I'm not saying this is an optimal way of doing this stuff, by the way. This is just me trying to naively making us figuring out a solution for this, and then whenever I go through and do another rewrite of this, I can read some papers and think more about it critically. But I think there's some value in just doing things the dumb easy, not easy way, but the naive approach, I'd say. And then what do I use for the switch statements? Yeah, because we have index, so we can just literally get the values from there. And then would be, now this is gonna be interesting because there's difference between finding the nearest point from a point versus like a box or like some other shape. This is assuming a point as like the thing we're querying with, but if it was like a circle and we're trying to find the nearest point on the circle, that would be like a different thing, or a box would be a different thing potentially. We're gonna keep it simple. We're just gonna pretend pretend this is a point for now, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna check chat in a second, guys. 1 second. Sorry for being a little bit. And then we're going to be substituting this because there's just check to see if something collides. It doesn't tell you. We have different requirements for what we're trying to do here. And I might actually open up some shader code I had from Messy Mansion, because I do have some HLSL code for specifically finding a point on a line, the nearest point on a finite line. The radius, no idea what you're saying, but your voice is very smooth. Thank you, Stefania. I'm a dev too. Can you tell me what you're coding? I'm making an engine right now. Call me Dovey. Radius, I'm not sure what part you're talking about. They don't say just watch and find out. Growbox CRT makes it vintage. Yep. 100%. Growbox works really great on a CRT, man. I gotta say. We're unworthy. No. It's oddly relaxing. I'm glad, Coding Wizard. Yeah, I'm coding an engine. So like I was originally supposed to be working on my own game project today, but apparently there's other plans. So I'll show you right now. So I'm going back to this little engine project that's super underbaked, like barely even started, honestly. Where it's like an engine kind of designed around using V motions and the modes and all that kind of stuff. Oh, does it not work? Oh, deleting used to work at some point. I'm not sure what I've done. Oh well. Either way, and we're fixing some collision issues because collision is kind of weirdly finicky, especially because the fixed update timing is like wrong. But yeah, so there's some weird cases like that are behaving, that's just weird. Sometimes results in clipping out. So yeah, it still kind of happened when we did the delta time thing. So, but yeah, it's even though it's exacerbated by bad timing, that's not really the issue. The core issue is how we're doing the collision detection and stuff. So yeah. So we're kind of updating that right now. I should really make a way to go back to editor instead of having to exit out. I think I had it at some point and I just got rid of it. Learn to code, but I still consistently have to read docs, understand what functions I need and how they work. So it's wild to watch someone just type like English. I mean, I have the benefit of not really using much libraries. Like benefit and detriment, because like I'm writing this engine, quote unquote, with like very minimal and very lean libraries. So a lot of the architecture and how everything's organized is my decision. So I don't really have to look up functions because I wrote this stuff, so I'm aware of it. That's the same case with Messy Mansion. Like most of the stuff I did is like, you know. So it's a very different thing when you have like the architecture in your mind and the full scope is very simple. Or maybe not simple, but it's like contained in your brain. Versus like when you're using other people or other tools or libraries, it's a bit more, you get a lot of Googling. Like even for this, I had to do GLFW and there's a lot of Googling and weird stuff I have to deal with. Like even with handling inputs, there's some weird stuff that emerge as a result of that I really want to change at some point to make things a bit simpler, but we'll find out. I'm also curious if this is really the issue I'm thinking. There's a really scuffed solution to this, which is like just like keep sampling points until like you find one, like you within the player. Where is the collision check? Maybe I should just implement the scuffed version of this first, just see if that's even the issue, because then there's a faster way of implementing it. Because instead of doing what we're talking about here, like if target, then if not target, either X or Y or none, we can just find, instead of doing this, we can do like, because we have a collider, like we should be receiving a collider for if point is free. Or maybe it's not. It's just going to return if a point is, and there might be multiple points where that's the, yeah, so maybe it might not even be, ooh, we might have to open up some Miro. Let's open up, because I'm thinking through some edge cases that might emerge from this. So let's just work through it so I can express what I'm thinking of in more direct terms. like a hobby, or is this commission sort of work? No, this is for free. This is for fun for me. Or not for fun. I have another game I'm working on, but I really want to ditch Unity, and most of the engines I see don't really do what I want. No engine's going to do exactly what I want it to. And there's also a part of me that just wants, like, it's on this super freedom brainwave. And what's the ultimate freedom than just doing your own thing? So I was like, all right, I can make my own engine that has all the editor very vimified and is keyboard oriented, and we'll deal with compiling using mscripting and whatnot, and we'll cross these bridges when we get there. And besides, I want to get better at programming, and there's certain problem spaces you just do not encounter unless you actually code it. So there's a lot of things in engines, for example, in implementing your own engine, that I'm finding to be a very interesting kind of problem space to deal with, that you usually don't have to worry about when you're using like a scripting language or a garbage collector language or anything else quite like that. So it's definitely very cool. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a shape. So we have a character there, and then there's going to be a vector. And that's going to be the projected vector. Can we make this a straight line? Yeah, let's attach this to the center of the object as well. No. I want you to be attached at the center. Oh, you're gonna make me very mad. No, don't do that. Cool. Let's say this can be like the projected vector for next frame. Oh, this snapping business is gonna make me go crazy. It's actually gonna kill me. Okay, you know what? Lock. Oh my goodness, even when you're locked, you still do this. Please tell me there's a way to ignore and turn off. No, I don't want Miro AI. I don't want to lock it either. I don't want to insert a shape. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. You're tearing me apart. No, this also has the same issue. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna go crazy. Oh, if I hold control, okay, cool. I have full reign when I hold control. Okay, so let's talk about this weird edge case. Not weird, an actual very real edge case that can happen. Where right now we're doing a very simple thing. We'll deal with partitioning later. But right now when we do a query for position or for collision, we're just kind of iterating through every single collider. Not great. We'll do a tree structure later, or some other space partitioning data structure to speed up lookup. But right now I don't want to deal with optimizations yet. We'll deal with optimizations when we need to do optimizations. For right now, we're just doing it the simple way, and then once there's issues, then we'll do that, right? I just want to make it work. So the initial idea is that, okay, we just do iterate through them and find an object that collides with this point, and then get the nearest point from it on that object, and then we can use that to place the character appropriately. And let's say even we apply the correct offset, because obviously if this is the nearest point, like let's say we get to this object, and if we were to place the player there tentatively, they would collide with that. So this would register as a hit when we get to this object. And let's also make this less confusing. So let's just make this a dotted line, shall we? So this is the collision point, and let's say we apply the offset so the player would be actually placed up here. So that's fine. This is the nearest point, place it there. But what if, like, because of whatever ordering in the list or whatever they were iterating, that it's this one, then the nearest point would be here, And even if you apply the offset, the player would still be clipping. So there's a consideration where we can't just return early. We have to actually iterate through every single object in the list. Terrible, yes. And then use the one with the nearest collision point to the player. So that's the important consideration. So the first part is finding the nearest object, and then finding the object with the nearest collision point. And then from there, we actually have to calculate, oh my goodness, because now I'm thinking, I'm like, if we want to get this point, if we want to find this, we'd actually have to calculate the nearest point per object, unless we use like just the center to like get an estimate for which one's closer to the object. Which for a perfect square might be fine, but if we have an object where it's like, for example, oh my goodness. If you had an object that's really long, like this, then yeah, even though this object is technically closer, if we use a center point, then it would be rejected and it would use this collider instead for getting the nearest point. So we do have to calculate the nearest point for each one as we go through it. So, okay, we have that figured out. So that's an important thing we need to consider. That's one edge case. So in finding move to nearest point. So if we're going to implement this, we have to have the consideration that we find nearest collision point on object, or actually just call it collision point. Honestly, if we want to really simplify that, all we're really doing is finding nearest collision point, which sounds simple, but there's actually going to be a little bit more involved because we will have to cover those cases. So we can do our collision. And then if you want to be fancy, we can do collide and slide, where not only do we do the correct thing and say, hey, this is the collision point we're going to be using for determining the object position, but because if we just stop right here, there's this extra momentum for this vector that's going down here that's just kind of disappears. So we want to make it more accurate. You'd stop here, and then you'd get the delta between this vector and the actual target velocity vector, and then apply it to a secondary vector that is tangent to the surface so that it slides. And we have to update the velocity too. So velocity wouldn't be just like input and that's it. Velocity would have to be modified by that if we go that route, if we want to go extra cool. But I think we're just doing a simple Mega Man kind of game, so maybe for now with velocity feedback. Now this would be actually kind of cool. And that's how I'm thinking how I would go about doing it. Again, naive approach, not reading any papers or anything yet. Or looking at how other smarter people implement it. We're just going to try to make it happen. And then either it's going to work great or it's going to be terrible. Okay, so I think I have an idea of what we're going to need. And in some senses might simplify things, because ultimately what we're going to be doing is just having like a, let's define what this API should look like. It's going to boil down to like this session collision, and we're going to change this to be like, what is our signature going to look like? It's going to be collision dot get nearest collision. And then it'll take in the collider in a projected space. Yeah, projected position. I think this would be like the same kind of signature. But instead it's going to return like a float 2. And instead of is point free, this would be returning, what would it be returning? Float 2 for nearest position. Maybe our collider, got our point. We're gonna do a lot of the same things we do here, like calculating collision stuff. It's largely going to be very similar, but instead of returning true, we have to actually do some calculation here, which is going to be a thing. So what is the data we have here? We have the corners for what? Okay, so we construct the bounds, the corners for our query collider, and we get the data for the current collider. And then what do? We iterate, which again, this we change once we decide to use a different data structure, either like spatial hashing or a tree structure or something, you know, like a BVH or something. Let me catch up in chat. My bad, guys. Go around. Never mind. What's up, Miko? 3D Max played around 15 years ago for never fully made anything. Oh, brain dead. I use Blender and that's about it. That's kind of the start and end of it for me. Lighting plays a big role. Oh yeah. Our best for cozy, 270K to 300K. I'm actually 3000K. I'm not sure which Ks I'm using here, if I'm gonna be real with you. You should do a brain dump on a notepad on what you need to do. Yeah, I mean, I kind of do that with comments, but that's why we also have the to-do. We have our to-do thing here where I can talk about agenda or things that you want to get done. Or sometimes I do some architecture things here. Yeah, like we were talking about when we had that stream showing you how to implement your own lighting and render your own lighting in like your own light model shader in Unity that doesn't use any Unity stuff. It's very helpful. What's up, Kevin? Bro, I have questions. Where can I learn to code like you? I want to learn too. The question, I mean, it kind of depends on what you mean code like me. Like if you're talking about the whole just keyboard navigation thing, then there's a Vim. If we're talking about like the actual things that's involved in typing this, like the ideas and stuff, that's just time in the saddle. I'm sorry, what? Oh, collider and position. Yeah, that's why we do that. Yeah, okay. And that should be just const as well. We're not modifying the collider ticket. Honestly, one of the changes I want to do is have these tickets, because we have this whole ticket thing, which is just wrapping primitives. But I think what we might... Oh, you know what? No, I can't, because I'm doing Unity builds, or glob builds, or whatever, so I'm avoiding... Yeah, this having it structured that way helps avoid a dependency. Okay, unless I make it a void pointer. I could always make it a void pointer and add a define, and that'd be gross. Okay, so anyways, we get our collider data, we iterate through all the colliders, and if I equals, so we avoid self-collision. And then it's reserved. We avoid that because it's not active. And then tags. But we can make this more powerful and have like a flag for that, but yeah. only check solids. I don't have to, that's self-explanatory. And then we do our iteration, our switch case iterations. And then we check to see if each point collides with the index. It's a very fast and easy way. So we iterate through box, this point collide with index. And if it does collide, that means it's not, this used to be like it's not free. But now that means if there's a collision, we have to get the calculate distance, which means you have to iterate through each face of this and determine, or actually better yet, we can invert this logic and make this a continue iterating, and then we're going to do our implementation down here, avoiding space as much in brackets. And then at some point we're going to have to have like our nearest distance. So I think float distance nearest point index. And we're going to use this as I kind of want to implement optionals for this because like this is a primitive, but there is the case where there's no collision at all, and it's like ambiguous as to what we give, because any value, like negative and positive values, are fine for float twos. Jeez. So I almost want to make a struct just to wrap this in, like a hit. Like a hit result or something. Or if we had options, we can do like option this and life would be great, but I haven't implemented optionals, so I'm not sure if I want to do that. Do I want to implement optionals? They feel really great for this kind of thing, if I'm gonna be real with you. Let me catch up. Oh, so what's up, Morgan? I just saw you. Very nice variety. Why many? Hey, how old are you, bro? And what do you do for a living? I'm a software engineer. That's what I do for a living. What are you building, boys? Making an engine right now. We need Jesus more now than ever. Yes, sir. We all need Jesus. Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. What is little bro programming? This little bro's making an engine. Now, this is different from the game last week because Unity refused to let me run my game today. I don't know why it prevented me from doing that, but it just did. So we decided to instead work on the game engine, and because I still wanted to do something. I still wanted to be a little productive. Why is he using UE5? I'm not using Unreal 5. This is my own engine, brother. This is my own engine. No Unity, no Unreal, nothing like that. I mean, that's why we're also implementing our own collision, because if you're making your own engine, dude, like, you gotta... I mean, you can use stuff like components like Raylib, which has like physics stuff, but we're in it to learn too, so it's fine. So we need to construct. This is what we're gonna do. Because it's iterating on each, and it's just checking to see if it's just doing like A/B test, where it's like checking to see if each point of this box intersects, if this point intersects this box at all. And that's fine for like a yes/no thing. But I guess it's a quick, easy test, and then Yeah, we have to generate the corners. We have to make another box corners. So likely I'm going to do the same thing we did here. We're going to need to have data, that's for sure. I think here we're kind of assuming that this is the querier is the person who's making the request is a box as well, which is bad. But over here, this is actually much more of a safe assumption to make. And then before we get into this, because I know for a fact we're gonna have to, I need to get that math because I don't want to think through it. So I'm just gonna go into Messy Mansion and get the Siege and C math function I have for calculating a point, nearest point on a line, which is all we're doing. Finding the nearest point of collision on a box, or the nearest point. Oh, dude, actually, I think we're wrong. I think this is actually wrong. Because the projected position is here, and like it's very long. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. So if it's like right here, even, like sure, it's gonna collide, but because we're using this as the, oh my goodness, as the point, the nearest point would be like here, when in reality what we want is a point here. So what do? We can do a couple things. We can reject sides that have we can reject, because it's a position. We need to give it a vector direction, because then what we can do is ignore edges with a positive dot product value to the vector you're sampling. That way it would ignore these surfaces and only check against these surfaces. So that's like a thing we can do. Yeah, and I think that's still better than trying to do some like weird iterative like checking. Maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but no, but I think iterative would be that would compound way too much. So okay, we need to add another parameter to this. See, edge cases, that's how you find it, which is going to be const float2 velocity, or I guess direction. Not normal. Maybe normal? That's not direction. And 0, 1 to indicate that it should be normalized. I'm just gonna start doing that from now on. And then we're gonna have to for each face, we're gonna have to calculate a bunch of stuff. Not a bunch of stuff. We have to calculate like a direction vector from the center of the box to that. And then we're gonna use that for our verification. So honestly, this is gonna be a sizable thing. I might make a, what do I want to do? What do I even want to do? Because I want to return. Does C++ have tuple support? Like, you return tuples? Is that a thing that C++ has? Let's see. Yeah, there's std tuple. Yeah, I might just do that. I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, let's see. Can I just do? Yup. You exist. And I can do a bool and a float too. And life is great. Life is gonna be fantastic. Okay, we have a friend here now. Okay, so we can have, what are we going to do? I think we're going to do a couple things. We're going to have a function just for find nearest point on box. And then there's going to be find nearest point on line, which also might be relevant if we do like a line collider, but I'm not sure if we want to do that. Let me go back to finding that function in the repo, not documentation. We're going to messy mansion. We're going to assets. And then we're going to go to, because I believe it's in my own dev kit. Yep. Shaders. And then we have a math cgen_c library. And then I think closest point on line. There's two functions though. There's one within line. This is the function I'm looking for. And it's actually going to translate very nicely. So I might just yoink this. I think for this I have to actually use copy. And then do I have a math? I think I have a math utilities. Yep. So I think I'm just going to make this a utility within here. Yeah, we'll just do that. Paste. And then we just have to change the... Ooh. This is for simple maths. We need to have like a vector math class. So it has like vector utilities. Perfect. It exists where these guys live. All right, one second. I'm gonna chat. I know it's been a while. I'm gonna catch up in chat real quick. 1 second, guys. Let me just wrap this up. We're getting there, I think. Oh, come on. I keep missing this enter by a little bit. What am I doing? I could just do... Oh, it's already too late. I should have done this from the very beginning. Oh, well. I'm probably going to take more time doing this. Yep. Could have just done it manually. Oh, well. Yeah, it's alright. Ooh, and this has a sub-function requirement, don't you? Yeah, you have this one. I recall now. That's okay, though. Paste. And then we're going to do the right thing this time, which is going to be cool. And then, is there a std normalize? No. So I think I have to do... I have to look up a function for this. This is going to be one of those things where I have to search it up. I don't know. I forgot how we get the math food class. Please tell me it's like a simple function like this. Normalize helper? I'm assuming this does what I want it to do, but I don't like that it's called normalize helper. That kind of susses me out. Product helper? Like, why is it called helpers? Why are they all called helpers? It's kind of weirding me out. Like, just tell me you do the thing. You're not a helper. You're the thing itself. Like, you're freaking me out a little bit. Okay, let me check with you guys now. 1 second, guys. Are you making a game or asset? I'm making an engine right now. How to be used with the interface? No, we're not using Unity. Yeah, work on the engine. Learn the tool's eyes. Excellence. Put fingers together evilly. Yes, evilly we do that. SMFL before? What's SMFL? Tiny C compiler. is fire. Really? I'd like to give that a try. I'd like to like just not do C++ entirely and just go C at some point. But there's some things that I like from C++. Yeah. Bro, how do you feel about pirate software? I don't feel nothing, man. I neither hate him nor enjoy. I mean, I think I've seen like I for sure have seen his shorts before, and they seem pretty cool. But yeah, I really there's nothing to for me to comment about as far as he's concerned. I don't wish him bad. I can say that much. I mean, I really don't know what went down, to be honest. But I don't know. I try to keep my nose out of that kind of thing. All I want to focus on is working on games, making games. That's all I care to do. You get at least one pirate. Yeah, there's been a couple. Cozy Land, big Cozy Land. He's come up a lot in the streaming gaming community. I guess so, yeah. I'm using Sea Lion for C++. Yeah, exactly, Hellas. I mean, like, part of this engine thing is just the joy of creating something, right? And learning and discovering and having these epiphanies, and it's so much more fun. And I enjoy this thing I'm making far more by not using AI and just knowing that everything is kind of like, not knowing, but just having these organic moments of discovery, or things finally working, or this or that, you know? And a lot of this stuff kind of internalizes better in my mind as a result. Because, you know, easy come, easy go, as they say, right? What came easily is kind of disposable in people's minds, but some things you have to actually earn sticks around a lot longer. I can either provide... Yeah, we're going to give it a flow too. Yeah, I think that in principle applies even with knowledge. Point, index, and then we're going to be building the box again. We also need to have and our float, our data is going to be what? Float 4, I believe. Yeah. Instead of collider.index, we're going to be using the box index. So now we have the corners of our box, and we can kind of construct the lines from there. Honestly though, I feel like there's got to be a way to do like a const expression that like evaluates the dot, but no, I don't think we can do that. I don't think we could do that. Flight, I believe he's a software engineer. Yep. I've been working and building this game engine. I mean, this is game engine, like, as far as actual work time, I've only spent like really 2 weeks, 3 weeks really solidly working on it. And then, but because I have another game I'm working on in Unity, and I've been putting a lot of time in trying to get that game, like trying to finish it at some point. So this has been on the back burner. I haven't touched this in like a month or two, in a serious capacity at least. But today's like the first time where I have to use, or I get to work on it again, because Unity refuses to work with me today. It says there's a Unity process. I can't find it or kill it, so it's blocking me from running the game and doing some actual development work. So I was like, screw it. It's a good excuse to start doing some engine deving. Why not? Why not? And there's 4 different sides to this box. We also need to have the center point too. Yeah, it's a great learning experience, for sure. Yeah, there's something fun about doing things the hard way. Normal, we're going to calculate that. So how are we going to represent side? Or I guess we're going to start with like just points. Point A is going to be equal to don't just call this box. That seems way simpler. And then B I plus 1. Though we need to check to see if it's greater than 4. So maybe if we have to do a wrapping function. But that seems dumb to do a wrapping function because there's only really one case. And that's if I equals, could we do this could we just do this gross business here? Yeah, if I equals 3, then we make this be 0. Otherwise, I plus plus. Yeah, we can just do a little ternary operator in there. Very nice. And then we want to get the normal of this surface, so that would be, what could we do? There's probably a faster way to do it. I'm going to do the dumb way of doing things, which is going to be float 2 mid, which is going to be A plus B divided by 2. And hopefully this works the way I intend it to, and then normal is just going to be center, and then we have to normalize it. Or do we really? I don't even think we need to, but I like to be precise. Yeah, normalized helper, calculate the normalized version of the vector. Okay, that's what I want to have happen. Okay, so now we have A, B, mid, normal, the midpoint, and then we can continue on our merry way. It'll be kind of cool to do some AVX stuff here, but I do intend for this to work in WebGL, and I'm going to do the end script and compilation, so I don't want to deal with that version, dealing with those different versions, so we'll deal with that later. Dot product helper, normal, and direction. So what is the condition we're looking for here? We're gonna make this a little bit simpler for me. Dot is less than or equal to 0. We reject it. I think that should be fine. In which case we return what? What do we return here? Oh no, we continue. That's what we do. We don't get return yet. Yeah. Yeah, I should probably do like a specific structure just for the hit results, because like that's actually gonna be a useful structure to have just continuously around. Like something as simple as like both. Like something as simple as that would actually make things pretty easy here. Alright, let me catch up in chat, guys. My bad. Cool keyboard. Thank you, Blue Fox Link Ink Studios. To meet other programmers from the internet. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. There's that whole like 3 domains or 4 domains of knowledge we've talked about before in previous streams. Of ternary. Oh yeah, that is a thing I could do. You're right about that. What's up, DB? I'm digging all the emoticons, man. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, we're using C-Line today. Writer is my usual for C# projects, but today for engine C++ stuff, we're using C-Line. It's a good IDE. Yeah, this is good catch. iMod 4. Simple, easy, breezy cover girl. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Or it's supposed to be this. No, what am I doing? Why are you mad at me? Oh, no longer mad at me. Continue. Otherwise, we calculate math utilities. Ooh, did I not? Oh, we might have to compile things, don't we? So we're gonna have to use. Oh no! It's not recompilers. We have to use. We're using the wrong things. We have a vector utilities. I forgot what I called it. It's just vector. Why are you mad at me? What have I done? Oh, because we just have global functions instead of having like a namespace for this thing. Which actually, do I even want to wrap this within the math utilities? There might be ambiguity. Better safe than sorry. Hopefully nothing else gets too mad at me. Yeah, there's that whole inline thing. Doing something wrong here. There's something critically missing here. I don't think so. think it should just work. I don't know. What is the music playing? It's a Windows 95 core thing. We put HAL in the box. What are you making? Making an engine right now. The rogue AI ain't getting out of the box, no. Well, I also want to get good. That's the thing. Like, I know I'm not good, but I want to get good. And actually doing things the hard way is helpful for that. You start getting like little intricacies about things that most you usually don't consider if you just get the answer given to you. Like that whole memory thing, that was a weird, that little like allocation bug I had with create new was something that I've never encountered in my life, but trust me, I'll never forget it now. I'll never forget it now. That's for sure. Vector utilities. Can I not access vector utilities like this? Or should I just say, nah, screw it. Everything's just gonna be part of my. That's just gonna be globally accessible. Just get it, man. Whenever you want it, dude, just do the thing. I might have to refresh my CMake for it to recognize this. That might be the issue too. So I do closest. What do I call the function? Yeah, closest point. Yeah, within line. That's a particular function we're trying to get. This feels wrong. I'm keeping this. And then we'll just rebuild the C-line project and hopefully it recognizes things. Reload CMake project. It's gonna give me a lot of errors, but it's gonna be fine. I think. Yes, it does now. Closest point within line. Important distinction. And how does this define line again? Because I think this came from a shader code. And from HLSL, and usually there's like some type of weird space stuff that goes on there, because like in GPU land there's like a couple different spaces it can be in. The most common of them is object space, but no, this is not that. This is literally defining the start of the line, the end of the line, and then the reference point which we wish to query against it, which actually is exactly what we have to provide it. So perfect. And I think this is wrong because I didn't. Yeah, it's fine. A, B, and then query point, which is this point, I believe. And I think the issue here is I made these float 3s, but they actually need to be float 2s. Or I can just make overloads for this that use float 2s instead. Let's see here. We have closest point on line, closest point within line. Yeah, so we're gonna just do the old 3 to float 2 and then overload this bad boy. Nice. And now we go back to here, our module, and you should be happy. Why aren't you happy with me? I'm trying my best. Let's try reloading the CMake project, because maybe there's some functions that just, those new function overloads. Yep, and that fixes it. Nice. And then we should probably calculate the distance as well between this point equals math foo. Please tell me you have a distance calculation thing. What? What do you mean? What do you mean you have no thing for this? How can you do this to me? Okay, magnitude. Please tell me you have a magnitude at least. You have cross products, you have all these different things. But what about distance and or magnitude? You have a normalization, min-max, length square helper, length helper. The squared length of the vector, that is faster. Well, you'll just do things the ritzy way first, the accurate way, and then we'll deal with that. So this would be the distance between closest point minus point, and then yeah, if we're iterating through this, we have to find some information. Maybe I'll do hit result here, and then like initialize it to some bum values, and then oh no, there's some other stuff we need to have here though, like distance is not going to be in there. Or maybe we could have distance be part of this hit result. Like, why not? If you have to calculate this anyways, why not just have that data on hand should we ever need it? Like, duh. And then distance is greater than, what do I call this? Result dot distance, then result equals true is hit nearest, oh no, closest point. And distance. Cool. And then at the end of the loop iteration, you return result, which is exactly what we want to do here. Yeah, we have to move this struct all the way out to the top. Alright, I'm gonna catch up, guys. 1 second. I think I said that before, but this time I mean it. It's for real. Yep, now hit result works. Cool. And now back to this function. We don't have to do this complicated things. We can just do hit result equals get nearest what is this called? Find nearest point on box. And then what are we giving it? What do we give it actually? Nearest point here. Point. That's all we give it actually. Point and then direction 0, 1. And then this is overload, so we have to actually give the box index as well. So I as well. Cool. That's an important distinction. And then we do the thing where if result.distance is less than initialize it. It's less than that, then I have to change the name of this. Cool. We continue on our way. So this should actually work. And I think I may have flipped one of these. Yeah, I think it should be if it's positive. And if distance is less than. So, but everything else I think should be good. All right, let me catch up and chat, guys. Be right back 1 second. Okay, split mechanical keyboard. Yep. Is a vibe coding then going through the code line by line to understand it a decent way to learn? I don't think so. Because I think vibe coding still... Actually, I'm not sure. Because like vibe coding is going to introduce some bugs. That's just going to be part of the process, right? And you're going to have to go through the code and kind of understand it. And you're going to get some understanding from doing that. Or you kind of require some understanding to do that. But I think if you're trying to learn, like it's not going to be quite the same. I don't think you're going to get the same... I guess I think we talked about, like I mentioned earlier, that like convenience thing where it's like whatever you kind of work towards, you're going to value more than whatever is kind of expedient and given to you, I guess. Wait, basic code on a quirky monitor? Golden Stream? No, we're not doing basic. We're doing C++. Yeah, we're doing some C++. But, yeah. Yeah, Sea Lion. But that's my take, at least. If you had to pick 3 people roles to create a game in 3 days, what would they be? 3 people. I mean, there's the classic combo. Like, if 3 days, that's a game jam. So you don't need, like, big considerations for design. At least that's the way I think. So, like, what? Probably, I mean, the combo is usually coder, artist, and then an audio person. That's like the three general people you need usually. The trifecta. I mean, it kind of depends on the game you're making too. I don't know, if you're doing like a music game, you definitely it might be better to have a bunch more musicians or music producers for that, or I don't know. And I say artists very generally. An artist, because it's not, I'm not saying like 2D artists or 3D artists or what. I'm just saying someone who can do everything. The modeling, the I don't know, or maybe like for the type of game you're making, maybe it's better to have someone who's like, I don't know. Actually, probably not. You're not going to need a dedicated rigger. I don't think you need someone dedicated to do rigging for characters. It really depends on how much you expect your programmers to implement. Or I guess I don't know. It really depends on the game. It really depends. Though I gotta say, on that note, Terrell, my boy, we tried making a game a long time ago. A long time ago. It would be fun to one day collaborate with you again. Even on like a small game jam basis or something. It'd be cool to do like a Discord game jam or something. Which, by the way, we do have a Discord as well, where I post updates about that other game, the actual main game I'm working on. Crazy, right? But I don't know. It's been a while. Dope has proven to me to be a good way to get thrown in the deep end and actually start coding. That said, the more you learn and code, the more you play away from vibe coding, as it's damaging. Yeah, there's definitely very damaging things I think about it. But yeah, can I pay to code me a game? I can put it on Play Store if that's I mean, I can do that myself. I appreciate it. I mean, do I appreciate it? Am I being facetious here? I don't know. I mean, there's that thing where I generally just don't want to work on games professionally. All the games I do is for my own fun and my own edification. I'm completely content with my day job. I don't know, but then there's times where I'm like, it'd be kind of cool to actually, I wonder how it'd be like to work on this full time. Like I wake up in the morning, I pop on stream and we just get some work done. But No, but in general, my job, I'm pretty content with it. I like what I do. I think it's meaningful work. And it actually makes me better at programming as well. So, can't complain about that. Yes, we don't need this nearest point. Maybe what I want to add to this is like the index of this nearest thing that you're colliding with. But that's like a different thing entirely. Also, why are you mad? Collision module to what? What is the issue of conversion here? What is the issue here? Find nearest point on box. Box index. It's a uint. Is I not a uint? It is a uint. We're iterating that way. So why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? You're saying some crazy things here. Cannot convert this argument from type const collision module to a collision module. When do I... Oh, do I need to make this a const? Yeah, because it can't result in Oh. What is going on here? Now you're saying you can't find this. Find nearest point on box. What are you on about? Brother. What are you saying? Oh, you know what? It's supposed to be const there. Still being mad at me, so we're just gonna reload C-Line real quick. Cause I'm just gonna blame C-Line for this. No. Oh, is this function? Does it do the thing where it's the order actually matters? Well, that'd be kind of. All right, let's see. Nope. That's not the case. It was just working 5 seconds ago. What happened? What happened here? Okay, I'm gonna lose it, dude. What is going on here? You're trying to make me think I'm crazy, and I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. And it was just working 5 seconds ago. Wait, 1 second. What happened to the no discard thing? I know I had a no discard function. Ah. I guess that just works anywhere though, right? I initially thought that was kind of the issue because maybe I'm discarding the result by reassigning it here, but I don't think that's the case. So I'm not sure. I'm confusion. I'm confused. I'm being confused as to why this is not recognizing this function. I wonder if I just close C-Line and just open this bad boy back up. try it again. On Dinosaur, because why not, man? Is international jewelry then? Onyx, that sounds so cool. What Onyx? Currently trying to finish a prototype in a couple months. I'm making a 1980s horror games with a Souls-like. That's an interesting fusion you got going on there. 1980s. So what are we talking? We're talking this era, actually. Like literally the era of this monitor and my other keyboard over there. That's the era you're discussing. But with Dark Souls-like features. That's pretty interesting. Is there a reason he's coming? Yeah. The name? Did I mess up the name? I don't think so. In fact, let's verify this. Let's verify that I did not mess up the name. So I'm gonna grab that name. I'm gonna paste it here. Get rid of all these things. Oh my goodness, you were right. Were you right? Oh my goodness. I'm dumb. It was a typo this entire time. It was find instead of find. Oh my goodness. I was going a little crazy, wasn't I? I was going a little crazy there. But we're good now. And now we're happy again. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's beautiful. And what we're gonna do instead is what? Because now we have the thing we wanted to do initially. So we can still do the XY slide thing. But I think what we're gonna do instead is this point free. Use our new function to calculate nearest point. In fact, we can do a thing because it's gonna return result anyway. So like, if there's no collision whatsoever, we actually just have like his hit is false. So this actually just works good. Yeah, we can just do nearest collision. And either it's gonna be terrible and we're gonna have to debug it. And then finally the normal, which is just going to be velocity. There's a lot of things we typed here, and we're going to find out if this actually works or not. This is going to be fun. This is going to be absolutely fun. V3 to 2. Yeah, because that's just a common thing we have to do. Velocity. Is velocity actually a float 3? It should be a float 2. Yeah, it's a float 2. So that's not the issue. The issue is not that this is converting from float 3 to a float 2. There's something more fundamental going on here. An issue is not enough, too much parentheses. Oh. I see now. Yeah. Ooh, I hope this compiles fine. And then we finally do set position, transform, and then what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? if result is hit, we're going to set it to, do we even construct the collider? Do we even construct the, no, we just assign it directly. Yeah, I think this should be fine. That hit position. And then we have to do plus the offset thing we talked about, because the player is going to be like plus vector 3, 0. I forgot if am I doing positions in pixel space, or I think I'm doing pixel space. Let me just do 32. So that's like half the size of the player, I believe. And what do we do from here? So we do that, and then otherwise we're going to use our old algorithm. And we should probably do some debugging stuff to verify it, to see what's happening, because I know for a fact this is not going to work the first time around. It's not. It's simply, I refuse to believe this will work the first time. So we're going to have to do some debugging. And I realize now I have very minimal debugging features here. So we're going to have to deal with that. There's a compile error somewhere here. There's like a syntactic error somewhere. And I'm not sure where it is. Unless it went away. No, what's the error? Tell me. Give it to me straight, doctor. Give it to me straight. Expected a semicolon. Oh, because yeah. Yeah, that's not needed. Okay. Oh, errors. What kind of errors are we dealing with here? For the less than operator. Where? In vector utilities for what? Oh, because this is these are vectors. Yeah. So I can't just do standard min. I have to use MathFoo's thing, or I do it like component wise. But I think MathFoo might have some better optimizations. Yeah, min. Everything's a min. Everything's a helper in MathFoo. Let's get our max helper. And then can we get our clamp helper, MathFoo? Oh no, it's actually just called clamp. That's crazy. That's the biggest twist ever. And these functions behave as we'd expect them to. These will not, because of course. Let's go back to player. Oh, there you are. Nope. Okay. Another error? Another compile error? No, it actually just ran. Oh, brother, I'm scared. I'm actually kind of scared right now. Game for living then? I just want to know how I can make time for side projects. Oh, it's a silly filly. So how come you have time for game dev? I want to know how to manage his time to do both. You just don't have a social time, dude. Like, I work 8 hours, and I get off work. Maybe I do something for me, and then I do my game deving for like another, 3 hours, 4 hours, and that's just what we do. And if I'm gonna be more, usually I do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But when I was way more active, I would just do it every single day, like literally 7 days a week. when I was really at it. Nowadays I'm kind of backing off and just doing it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday on stream, and then maybe some concepting or design work or like architecting on my personal time. But that work I do in between, it needs to be on like paper and separated away from a computer, because you gotta have some time away from computers, right? All right, let's see how bad this is. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. That's splendid. So we're just stuck in air. We're just suspended. So, okay, I think I know what the issue is. Otherwise, yeah, we have to have if it's unimpeded. That option where if it's unimpeded, we just do projected position. So if there's a hit, we do this. Otherwise, we do projected position. Okay, that's an easier set of, that's an easier bug to deal with. Poop. Yeah, I probably should do a poop. But we continue forward. Is it C#? No, it's C++. Just some good old-fashioned game engine. I get it now. Yeah, thank you, Morgan. Any fun game ideas you like to make but don't have the time for? Oh, a ton. A lot more ambitious. Oh my goodness, it actually kind of works. Guys, it actually kind of works. Well, I mean, except for like the whole wall collision issue, that's not great. But the floor collision seems to be working as kind of intended. Like we're not falling through the floor anymore, at least. Which means our calculations are kind of working. We just need to sort out the X collision business. Because that's not right. Oh, in this case scenario, if the vector is that way and the surface is like this, it's going to be like a -1 and the back one's going to be 1, which is the only one we ignore. We ignore back faces. The sides are not going to be considered for collisions, which I guess kind of makes sense, honestly. I'm actually super surprised that this works really good. Like the wall thing, we have to deal with that. It might be as simple as just flipping the threshold. But I'm genuinely surprised. This actually works. Guys, our nearest point calculation just works the first time. That is crazy, dude. I'm actually flabbergasted that our thing is mostly just working. Like, yeah, we're sinking below the ground. That's not great. We need to deal with that. But this is significantly better than where it was before. We just need to deal with the sidewall things, but oh my goodness, guys, let's go. Let's go, man. What's the biggest game you ever coded? I mean, that's a really, like, what's the metric here? Are we talking about lines of code? Are we talking about features? I think the more ambitious one was Crimson Crown, which I think on the Discord I still have some videos. That was more ambitious. Yeah, I have to do this. Because that one's like... But that's why I decided to switch from that game to Messy Mansion. Not this game, but the main Unity game I'm working on. Oh my freaking goodness. Why do you forget? Like, I just logged in not too long ago. Why do you forget who I am, Discord? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna actually lose it. I'm so... Okay, we have a tab here. We have a tab here where I'm actually logged into. This is melting my brain a little bit. Like I'm having issues. I'm having issues here. But that game was much more ambitious. Let me show you it, because I'm very happy with that game. And this is where I post all the game dev updates in general. But let me see if I can find this bad boy. Yeah, this game right here. Let me pause the music. So it's like a randomly generated game, and like as you can see, it's a whole thing. It's a randomly generated levels and dungeons. I don't know why the audio is not playing on this, but yeah, and it was going to have a bunch of features, so like a bunch of abilities, each that are very unique. So like there's an ability to stop time. I think the other video has audio. Oh, it might be muted, that's why. Or maybe the other one had audio. Maybe this one actually had audio. Oh my goodness, sorry guys. Didn't mean to jump scare you with that. Yeah, this is a big, ambitious game. Not only in terms of code, but also like the music. I composed all the music, and then we're using Fmod for dynamic audio. And my boy Josh helped out with that. And yeah, all the art and assets I largely made. My boy Greg though, he did all the character animations. Like most of the character animations. But yeah, like way more polished, way more involved game. And once I wrap up Messy Mansion, I would like to revisit this game because I think there's something really cool about it. But yeah. Outside of that, like, yeah. C++ and C# are basically the same thing. No shot, dude. No shot. C++ is not the same thing as C#. Like, they are not the same thing. They're similar in the way that they're like C influenced languages and they're statically typed, but like way different. Way different. The game is loading a sprite batch and making it move in every direction. That's dope. That's still pretty sick though, man. How many completed games do I have? I have a bunch of completed games, quote unquote, on Newgrounds and on Itch, but a lot of them are game jam games, or a lot of them are very simple. The most polished one I think would be like Fight and Flight, but even then that's just a 3-lane runner game. What kit you use? I mean, for that game I showcased, it was just Unity, and that's it, and then my own dev kit. We were working. I'd actually play that. It feels like a rogue with potential. Yeah, it's a roguelike for sure. That's the main thing, was that like, there's so much there, and I had so much music composed for it too, and I'm gonna go back to it eventually. But I can't stop like starting new projects because there's that, and then I started Messy Mansion, and then I started this game engine because I wanted to be free. And high key, I might even rewrite that Crimson Crown game in my own engine. Like legitimately. Alright, I need to figure out why we were like popping underneath. Occasionally we're like appearing underneath, and that's not great. Like, I need to figure out why that's the case. That's really odd. Like, this is actually very weird that this is happening, because I wouldn't expect that to happen. I expect it to be a lot more precise. And I know they have this offset of adding 32, but that's like half the sprite size. So like, there's some kind of, this would boil down to some kind of hit calculation that is in some way has some defects, some imperfection. Roguelike. So better C++ for game engine and physics. Oh yeah, C++ is faster. It's a trade-off, because like C# it could be good for a lot of different types of games you work on, depending on like how intensive they are. And in C sharp, you can still do some performance intensive stuff. Like you can use unsafe and do fast stuff there, if you, and pretend like you're using C++. And if you're using Unity, it has like the native burst compile system they have in the job system, and you can do fast things that way too. But sometimes like if you're like, not every game has to be blazingly fast. Depending on what games you're making, you make like a decent amount of games with like C sharp, and the performance isn't that big of a consideration depending on what you're doing. So like yeah, it's not that big of a deal for me though. Like part of this is there's like an ideological thing to this where I'm like, I really want to try making software that's really lean, where the game only has what it needs to do what it needs to do and nothing more than that. And you know, keeping like I just want to make something that's very lean and just takes what it needs and pretty performant, or at least decently performant. It's not performant right now. There's some issues here, but like there's things we do to like to keep it very fixed and simple in a weird way. Because there's that whole thing of like game engines. Even if you make an empty build of the game, there's going to be a lot of overhead depending on what engine you're using, or just significant overhead. And it's not. Okay, I'm not gonna say significant. There's overhead, right? By modern standards, with how cheap memory is, it's not a big deal for most people. But for me, I'm like, okay, let's see how small we can make it to do what we need to do. So it's a different consideration. It's not one informed by like necessarily the most practical of concerns, but rather just a fun little idea I have in mind. Set position, transform, hit dot position. We're still going to have some kind of issue, I think. But even then, the issue wouldn't produce that weird offset that I'm thinking of. Because like going back to here, with this case, where we reject these backsides. No, actually, it should be fine. It should be fine. It really should be fine. I think we should still consider the edges in case of like it somehow slips through, but yeah, even then if it slipped through, it wouldn't produce this effect because these are all orthogonal edges. Also, I'm gonna need to figure out why this is happening. Why like I can just go to left and walk through walls. Like that's not a thing that should happen. Do we ever set velocity to 0? Is that a thing we ever do? Oh, we do. Okay, that's interesting. So we have to make a decision now. That might be the case here. That might be the issue. So if there's hit, we move it to the correct position, but then we set velocity. We actually mutate velocity already. So this might be an issue though over on the floor, because then there might be constant collision happening if we're clipping within the floor. So maybe we still do the, I don't know actually. I'm curious now. Sigmotter, thank you. Natalin. That can be played on a calculator or bacteria, yeah. Oh, definitely. Also, what's up, the homie Chewy? Sorry for the delayed hello, but there you go. And no, we're still This is actually super weird. Because it's behaving surprisingly really well. It's still buggy, but it's behaving better than I would have expected it, and yet there's still some weird behavior that's emerging that I wouldn't have expected to happen. And it's working even though there's things like this, for example, velocity equals 0, where it shouldn't have worked. So that's a whole... This is like weird, because it's behaving better than it should be behaving, in my mind. Like, that's the main thing, is that it's behaving better than I would have expected it to, and yet... Also, it's just supposed to be negative 32. I forgot if the up vector is... I forgot if the up vector was... I'm actually confused. I'm just kind of disoriented all of a sudden with all this stuff that's going on here. Yeah, because let's find jump. What do we apply when we do jump? What do we do? That's for idle state. Okay. X input ground speed. Velocity of that Y equals jump speed. And jump speed is top positive. So yeah, up. Positive values are up. Okay. So if that's the case, then yeah, our offset is correct there. Okay, that's not a great term to search up. Here we go. Oh, this is all manner of weird and quirky for my brain. This is all kinds of brain wrinkling. And I wouldn't expect anything like precision to be a factor here, because like that starts becoming more prevalent to that degree way further away. So I don't think it's a floating point issue. What are you making? I'm making stuff. I'm making a game. Keyboard, something Doom-like. Yep. Why not separate the static logic in another file and import back to player? Or is it better inside player? For this kind of thing, at some point, because this basic collision thing is going to be, I'm going to make like my own kind of concept of a rigid body that other physics behaving objects should have access to. But for now, because there's only one entity in this game, I'm just having it tied to this object, and then as things grow, I'll organically break things apart. But yeah, I started here. That's not that big of a deal. I'm not even sure if I want to do... I'm still thinking about it, actually. Because there's also like a collision... Like, we're going to have this collision system be tied to this this universal world click or tick update or whatever. So I could theoretically apply some of this, but I don't know. For now, I'm going to keep it simple and focus on just what it's used for, which is this context. There's only one place it's being used. It's here. So for now, it will remain this way. Yeah, this is so bizarre, though. This is incredibly bizarre. Nearest collision. Direction's normalized, right? And the projected point is the center, the speculative position of where the player is going to be. It's not speculative. It's a deterministic position of where the player could be next frame. Collider is a collider attached to the player. And then we normalize this velocity vector And from there we enter this loop. We create all the things for the player. Then final result. And then we iterate through the colliders themselves. And then ignore these conditions. And then these are the collider. Wait, what are we doing here? Okay, let's just check to see if there's a collision here. Wait, why are we doing this on each iteration of this? These are for the box corners. Yeah, what are we doing? That should happen like here. Oh no, but this is if... What are we doing? Yeah, that makes no sense. If it doesn't collide with the box, this continues through the iteration. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't want to exit this. Yeah, and there's no point in doing this anyways because... I mean, I guess this is a cheaper calculation than this, but that's like negligible and it's going to return. I don't know. For now, I'll just do it like this. Keep it simple. And then it's not hit, then we continue here. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like a bunch of redundant calculations going on there. The circle will be simple to do. What mic do I use? I use like an Ashton mic. They're pretty good. Yeah, Ashton mics are pretty good. Alright guys, let's see. Can you eat 3 burgers on stream? Maybe. Actually, no, I doubt it. I have a very small appetite. Okay, why are we mad? What is the issue here? Ooh, it's in session data. Oh, because we never covered the circle case, do we? What's the problem with that, though? Wait. That's dumb. That can't be it. Oh, is it because we never initialize final result? Well, that it should be initialized. What are you talking about? Maybe I'm being dumb. I feel like I'm probably being dumb right now. I'm still kind of... Yeah, what's the error here? What's the issue you're saying specifically? Crosses initialization of hit result. Yeah, what does that mean? Because hit result is initialized before we enter this loop. It's like done over here at the top. Or do I need to explicitly like... No, that'd be dumb. There's no way that's the case. I refuse to believe that. Yeah, I refuse. But let's just try this. And that didn't give errors before either, so like... Yeah, it's still failing. I guess we implement this, but I don't really need to implement this. That's just gonna be, 1 what? I don't want to even deal with this right now. Can I just comment out this case? It's going to be just one case. I'm going to laugh if that actually compiles fine. Yep, it compiles fine. Yeah, we're still jumping through walls, though. That's not great. Yeah, that's just a whole manner of weird. I really should just have an object. Like, I have 2 objects I'm spawning. Why not just have them like update their position to be wherever we're encountering. Just I'll move these dots to wherever we're encountering the hit points. I can just see your arm segment. Now where are you at? Here we go. I could just move one of these. Oh. That's what I'm looking for. And then what we're gonna be, and then the new position would be hit that. I guess that's what we're looking for, right? Let's run it and see what happens. Burger stream when? Why are we looking for the burger streams, dude? Yeah, I'm not seeing the second move at all. Actually, that might be even weirder, because that might mean that we're not even entering that condition at all. Wait a second. What? Why do you want me to do the burgers, dude? It'd be a waste of a young man's talent. What, to eat burgers? Nah, ChatGPT's on occasion. Not usually for personal projects, but maybe like for other things. Like for a burger stream. Okay, maybe I'll go to Culver's or something, or Hamburger Heaven and get some burgers. Checks collision instead of the wall, checking collision against the other entities in this game engine. Yeah, because I'm making it like I'm trying. The way I'm doing it is kind of doing it like the way Game Maker does it. Like I'm kind of replicating the API they have for doing like discrete collision checking. That's kind of the gist of it. What in the feeders? Yeah, I know, dude. Like this. What's going on, dude? Are you trying to turn this? What's up, Kunal? Shavan. This is my Is this how I transform and blossom into a mukbang YouTuber? But yeah, that's how I'm doing the collision check. And then like eventually I'd like to do like some kind of tree structure or something to like not have to query or iterate through everything, because I'm just doing that as a dumb little means of doing that, but of just simply getting some collision working in game. But with like a tree structure, we can, or maybe spatial hashing, the player doesn't have to iterate through everything. They can instead get to a set of objects that are near to it, and then can check against those instead. Especially if they're static objects, we can totally do that and don't have to worry about the cost of rebuilding a tree or anything. Spatial hashing is also a pretty decent idea in terms of like complexity of it, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know how much that's going to look like. Because the nice thing about that is that like we're indexing into a 3D space, so we can have like these objects on start add themselves to like a because a tree structure you still have to pay the cost of like searching and breaking, like going through space, right, or working your way through it. But if you do like a spatial hashing thing, then you can just use your actual index and your actual X and Y positions, and then you can use that to directly either index into like a 2D array or a hash map and get your data like directly, and then have a smaller set. So you still have to pay the price of iterating through a set of objects depending on how big you decide to make the cells of your space that you're indexing into, but yeah, it's pretty sick. I miss a comma where let's also up him. I have a 5 mil server developed with ChatGPT. Like, what do you mean, like users or dollars? I mean, either way, congrats, I guess. That sounds pretty impressive. I need to get some more water. Let me save my progress though, because this is at least significantly better than where we're at last time, or where this started off at. I should probably add this to Discord for notifications as well. Yeah, very nice. 5 right now, what? Sweet. Okay. Every time that white screen comes up, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'll put it over there. Okay, now it won't hurt us when I navigate around. Alright, guys. I'm actually kind of happy with how much work we got done today. It was kind of surprising the level of work that was done. I think what I want to try doing is changing some responsibilities and move things into tickets, but I think because we're not also, I'm making this very, I'm making one compilation unit. We're doing Unity builds for this game or game engine or whatever. So ordering actually really does matter. And the way I structure things so far is for a particular purpose. But, yeah. It's also constraining in how I architect things. Because, like, and I'm encountering this thing in terms of, like, what I'd want to have available for me as a developer. As far as building is concerned, or usage and UX is concerned, where I'd like to have things, for example, let's see what I have here. There's things ordered in a specific way. Or is it game entities? Yeah, tickets. So like this has to exist in a specific context. And ideally I'd want to make it where like a ticket, and it would not only just have a primitive index into something, but instead would be also have a pointer to the particular module that it belongs to, and then have the APIs of that module actually just be exposed within a ticket. So you can just, instead of having to go back to the module to access things and provide the ticket to do what you want to do, you can just use a ticket to directly modify and do things within the module. But I can't do it like that because of the way we have to order things to manage dependencies. It's not the end of the world, and I think it's still pretty fine, but I'm thinking how I might try to break that up or add that extra thing to it. You know, beyond just like void pointers and define statements, but we'll deal with that later. What's up, him? Jose, yeah. What's up, noob? i3? You already know it. i3. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I'm glad you dig the old school computers. Or screen. Alright, guys. I think we got a lot of work done today, though. I'm very happy with what we got done. I'm actually surprised how well this worked out. So, next time we'll be working on the actual game. But, yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. And I'm gonna hang on for a second, like if you like a minute or two, to respond to chat before signing off. Yeah, of course. Good shot. Good call, Morgan. We also have a Discord, so if you want to see more game updates, warning, flashbang coming. Boop. With more game updates, then feel free to join the Discord because we have a lot of stuff here. Like even the tree generation, the level map generator algorithm thing. I posted some updates about that very early on in the Discord history. But nowadays, I'm more focused on Messy Mansion and getting a game done that's somewhat complex. That's kind of important. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's nothing else. Thank you guys thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the company. Yeah, are you a keyboard because you're my type? That's great. I love that, actually. I'm gonna save that, dude. Thank you, Addison. That made my night a little bit. Oh man. Anyways, guys, thanks for the company and hanging out with me as I wrestle with this code. And as always, hope you enjoyed. Stay cozy. And until next time, I'll see you later.